Yeah, I've been looking forward to doing that. No, we're not playing Magic today. We're playing Magic very soon though. Yeah, I think in a little bit over 24 hours I will be playing some M21 pre-release. So very much looking forward to that. Or that video will be uploaded. I will actually be playing early. I will be playing in like, I don't know, 16 hours, something like that. I will be playing on stream. So if you haven't already, you can check out my Twitch. Hopefully there's gonna be a link in the description for that if you're interested. Anyways, today we're not gonna talk about Magic. Today I'm gonna show you the progress that I've done now that I've been away. I haven't done any Magic recording. I've been doing a lot of things with the game, so I think I've come far is maybe an overstatement, but we're getting somewhere. I still think that this game is probably gonna take years to complete, honestly, but yeah, we got some progress. So today I'm gonna talk about the skills, because now we actually got skills in the game. So let's jump into the game, and I'm gonna talk about all the skills and all the decisions that I made and stuff like that. Let's run the game. The funny thing is, when you see this, it's gonna be like, did this really take you like 2 weeks? Everything takes so much time when you like program and stuff. So much time. So first of all, we got the skill bar here. We got a couple of skills. Still no sound in this game. That's gonna come way later at some point when I'll do the sound effects. So a lot of you pointed out that these orbs used to be a little bit tiny. They're still a little bit small maybe, but I redesigned this interface a lot. So here I made the orbs a little bit bigger. First thing I did. They might even need to be even bigger. Also, I added this slight, I don't know if you can see, it's a very slight, very slight little highlight border around everything, which I think makes things even crispier. Crispy dispies. So, then we also got the XP bar that used to be here, but that didn't leave enough space for the actual skill icon, so I moved the XP bar up here. So the orange thing here is how much you progress towards the next level. We don't have any progression though, still in the game. That's gonna come later. But you can kind of get an idea how a full XP bar would look with this interface. So then I also added this so I can actually see how much HP. I like the left part here is your current HP. The right part is your maximum HP, and the same too, of course, with the manas. And then we get to the skills. We have a lot of skills, we're gonna go through all of them. But first I also wanted to show you that you can either press these skills. For instance, I can press attack here, and then attack will be selected. And then I can also right click at any point to, if I don't want to use that skill. If I select a skill and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to, before you commit to using that skill, you can right click to get out of it. Normally though, left click will be, you can rebind these. That's not implemented yet, but you're going to be able to rebind these to any button that you choose. But this is how they are configured right now. So left click is going to be your basic attack, and everything, of course, as you hover over them will give you an explanation of how they look. Right click will be block, and then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you will be able to, of course, when I eventually get an options menu, which is also gonna be later down the line, you're of course going to be able to rebind all these keys to whatever you choose to have. I don't think that left click and right click, I think left click and right click will always be your first two skills. You can rebind what you want to have on these skills, but they're always, maybe you'll be able to rebind that also. We'll see. But so that's how that works. And then we have the actual skills. So you can hover over the skill, and then you can see, first of all, it has the action cost. So if I hover over this, it will show you full action, which means that this thing will become a little bit more golden looky, just to show you that, because this represents a full action, this represents a quick action. I still think that I want to redesign these, but that's at some point I'll redesign them. There's so much to do with this game, so okay, that's the first thing. Then we have mana cost 0. Your basic attack, of course, doesn't cost any mana. You will be able to use this however many times you want, and cooldown is none. You can use this however many times you got. But then you wonder, why do you have a thing such as a full action, and what are quick actions? Well, quick actions are a thing that you can use once per turn, but it doesn't end your turn. A full action, you can also only use one per turn normally, but it will end your turn. When you use your last full action, you will end your turn. But then, of course, there are skills such as Holy Charge, which we're going to talk about in just a moment, which can give you another full action. So if you use the Holy Charge, you will get 2 full actions on your next turn, and you can, of course, combo that in different ways. So, all the skills that we have here are for the kind of the class which is like a paladin, sword and board kind of character. So all the skills are kind of defensive, they're not much AoE in them. Yeah, there's going to be more skills also for this class. And also there's going to be progression, so you're not going to get all of these skills immediately. You're going to, of course, maybe get like, attack and block initially, and then you level up to level 2, and then you get to select another skill, and then maybe, I don't know, you get Purifying Flames, or you get your Holy Prayer or whatever, and you keep adding skills, and then there's always going to be a decision between, do I want to get another skill, do I want to invest skill points in that, or do I want to improve one of the skills that I already got to make it deal more damage or alter it in some way. So we're gonna talk about that also today. So here are the skills. Basic attack, this is not going to be unique, of course, to this character. Every class, there's going to be 3 classes in whenever the game is first released that I've thought up. So first is the sword and board paladin kind of guy, which has focus on heal, focus on single target, and focusing on using the shield both for damage and for blocking. That's kind of his shtick. Then there's going to be the druidic class, which is, if you think Diablo 2, because this is very inspired by Diablo 2, it's very much like a mix between the druid and the barbarian. So think like earth magic, geomancer, like throwing boulders, throwing hurricanes, stuff like that. So every class is going to have different elements associated with them. So for instance, the paladin has fire and lightning. I only have a fire skill implemented, but it's going to be a lightning skill also. I'm thinking something like Dark Souls, when you get like a javelin of lightning and you can throw that at something, that's going to be his main ranged option. And then of course, later on down the line, you can upgrade that javelin so that it bounces between different targets and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. And then the third class, so the first skill tree is going to be Holy, that's the Paladin. Second is Druidic, and the third one is the Damned. And the Damned is going to be a little bit, it's not really equivalent to any class that's in like Diablo or anything, or Dark Souls, which are like my main inspirations for skills and stuff like that. It's more going to be a little bit like the Necromancer. It's going to be a little bit like skeleton themed things that you can do, but it's going to be more focused on darkness, because demons can see in darkness. So they're going to have things which turn out off the lights, for instance, in a room, and make you able to see in darkness. Things that teleport you into a position, and think that they're very centered around the darkness element. The druids are centered around the wind and earth elements. The Holy is centered around lightning and fire, and the Damned are focused around their own shadow, and then they're going to have poison, which is a little bit like Necromancer. So shadow and poison will be the Damned class damage types. So that's a lot of info about things that are not yet implemented. So let's talk about the things that are actually implemented. First of all, we have the basic attack. Attack with your weapon, your equipped weapon dealing 100% weapon damage. Note though that stats are not implemented yet. So if we go here into our inventory and we look at the one-handed sword, it will still say unidentified, and that's just because it's a placeholder, because I don't have stats on items. That's going to be the next thing. For the next update, I'm going to get stats on all these items. They're going to be able to roll random stats, and they're going to have some stats that are kind of fixed. Like I think armor, for instance, are going to be, maybe it can roll between 2 numbers or something like that. But it's going to be basically the same. Whenever you find a plate mail, it's going to have about the same amount of armor. But they're going, of course, to be able to roll a rare plate mail, or maybe a normal. Epic plate mails also might be a thing later on, but mostly there's going to be a randomly generated plate mail, like some attributes, like if you've seen Path of Exile, Diablo, that kind of thing is what I'm going for. But yeah, Again, back to the skills. So, basic attack. I can move up here and I can show you the basic attack. Basic attack is, of course, you can just left click and it will do the attack. Now, I showed you last time also how these guys work. So, this guy will only attack when attacked, and this guy has the ability that you will get critical damage if you attack someone who is near him. So, it's a very bad idea to attack this Skeleton Deprived, because he will attack back and I will get attacked by Templar and he will crit me. But I'm going to attack this guy just to show you how everything works. And now we lost a little bit of HP, but what I can use here, if I don't want to take damage from this guy to the right there are many ways of taking on this fight. So one way of doing this is I can use Divine Block. Divine Block adds 100% shield armor to a direction until your next turn. You cannot attack in the chosen direction for the remainder of this turn. And this is almost almost well implemented. So it doesn't add your shield armor yet, because we don't have armor on the shield. We can go to the shield and it still says unidentified. But what it does is that it completely blocks all the damage. So it's very much OP right now, but it's going to be hopefully balanced at some point. So if you press this, you'll get a selection of you can choose a direction. I can also go out of this by right clicking and it will just disappear. So let's say I choose this direction right here. Now it's going to block anything from this side there. And you can also see that before, when I hovered over this enemy, it was highlighted with red because I can attack him with my basic attack, but now I can't do that anymore. Oh no, now I just picked up a bag which randomly lay there, but okay. But now if I click this dude, I can't attack him. But what I can do here, for instance, also you can see that this thing now went on cooldown, because this has cooldown on this turn, so you can't block twice on the same turn, and that's just to prevent you from being basically an invincible tank. Like, as long as their enemies can get around you and attack from different angles, they can damage you. But you might be able to get enough block on your shield and stuff like that that enemies will deal almost no damage from the direction that you're blocking. So I'm blocking in this direction. I can't attack in this direction this turn, but I can attack this guy. So if I go and attack this guy, you will see that it said blocked. And that means that this guy didn't deal any damage to me. This guy still dealt damage to me because I didn't block in his direction, but I did block in this guy's direction. So that prevented me from taking a lot of that damage. So that's one way of taking the fight. I can put out the block here and I can kill this guy, and this guy's attack will get blocked. Later on, of course, it will only get reduced by the amount of armor on your shield. It will not be completely blocked. You will still take a little bit of damage, but it will be heavily mitigated when you use the Divine Block. So next ability is Purifying Flames. It uses a quick action. So this is the first skill that uses a quick action. It has a mana cost of 0, and it has cooldown this turn. You target yourself and buffs your weapon with plus 10% fire damage, which doesn't work yet because I don't have elements of fire implemented. Everything just one instance of damage. But that's going to work very soon. But what does work though is heal for 50% of the total damage dealt. So since this is a quick action and the Divine Block is a quick action, you can't use both in the same turn, but you can choose one of them to use on your turn. So for instance, if you can avoid getting hit by 3 enemies, it might be a very good idea to put out a block. Let's say there's one enemy here, one here, and one here. Then putting out a block on this side and maybe attacking an enemy here might mitigate the most amount of damage. But if you're only fighting one dude, you can't attack that dude if you're blocking in that direction. So instead, in that case, it would be better to use the Purifying Flames. So now I can use the Purifying Flames, and that will put a kind of this flame effect on the sword, and it will of course last until end of turn, and it will put this thing on cooldown now. So now if I attack this Skeleton Templar, you will see that we gained a little bit. You'll see that there's like a green number flashing there. We'll get 13 HP back, but we took 17 damage from this guy. So we just lost a little bit of life from doing this. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And then of course you can combo the Purifying Flames, because this lasts until end of turn. So if I go Purifying Flames, and then I can use this ability called Divine Seal, which is very, very similar to Diablo 2, which had the Seal ability. I don't know if Seal is in Diablo 3. I hardly play Diablo 3, but it might be. So, Divine Seal attacks 3 times with your currently equipped weapon. Any bonuses that applies to the weapon applies on all 3 attacks. And this also has a mana cost, so it's going to cost 50 mana and it's going to cost a full action. So if I use the Purifying Flames first and I use the Divine Seal second, we're going to see here that we lose a little bit of mana. So we lost 50 manas there. Then we also have an ability which all classes have, which is Wait. It's not super good to use this in combat, but it might be good to use this against certain enemies if you want them to approach. For instance, you can put up a shield like this, and then you can use Wait. Skip your turn, and they will not be able to damage you. And that might be good if you have an enemy which you want him to get close first. You don't want to walk into the enemies, because most enemies can attack you when you end your turn next to them. So it might be a good idea to instead put down a shield like this and either move forward or use the Wait command. And in other circumstances, it might be good to wait. So Wait just skips your turn, and if there's no enemies, of course, it's going to cast instantly. What else? Oh, the Holy Charge also. I'm going to probably reload and show that. Then we have Shield Bash. Attacks target enemy with your shield, dealing 100% shield damage. So I don't have much damage on this shield. Everything just hard-coded now. The damage on the sword is hard-coded 27, and on the shield to 5. So it's not going to deal much damage to him, but you see that there's a little bit of a different animation, and of course you're going to be able to use different abilities and stuff are going to benefit shields, for instance. For instance, what I'm trying to say, for interest, why am I saying that? There's going to be, like, for instance, the Divine Seal might have an upgrade which turns your attack into using your shield instead. So if you have a shield build, for instance, maybe you don't want to use a weapon, you want to use a staff or something, and you have some spells and you want to use your shield from time to time and hit with the shield instead, you can use that upgrade on Divine Seal. It's an optional upgrade, and then you can use the Shield Bash instead. And then we'll attack with Shield Bash 3 times on an enemy instead of attacking with your weapon. And of course, yeah, you can like make a shield build. That's the idea behind this. We have both Shield Bash and we have Holy Charge, which I'm gonna show you in one moment. But here we've taken a little bit of damage, so we can use Holy Prayer. It has a very high mana cost, and you're not supposed to. This is like the oh shit button when you're about to die, because this is going, of course, to be a roguelike, and when you die, your character is dead. So it's going to be very good to have a skill like this to get out of tricky situations. So instantly heals 100 health. So if I use this, we'll see a little bit of an animation and we'll heal up, but we also took some damage from Templar. That's why we're not fully healed here. So that's the heal ability, and then we also have the Holy Charge. So when we activate the Holy Charge, we choose a direction. Oh wait, did I show this already? Maybe I did. So if I charge here, for instance, it's just going to charge wall. I think I restart this. You can see exactly how this works. So if you charge and there's no enemy, you're just gonna run in one direction. It's not gonna be anything special. But if you charge into an enemy, you're going to use, as it says, charges in the chosen direction, dealing 50% shield damage, plus 20% per square traveled. On charging an enemy 3+ squares away, you get +1 full actions on your next turn. So the idea behind this skill is, of course, you're gonna charge a very long distance, get into combat. So it's kind of a movement skill, and also you can get decent damage in if you have a good shield with the Holy Charge. And what's also good about this, even though it might be difficult to get a shield which has a lot of damage, because most shields are going to have way less damage than a weapon has, it's going to be good because you get that full action on the next turn. So next turn you might be able to activate 2 things, and you might be able to attack in 2 times, or maybe use double Divine Seal or whatever you choose to do with those double actions. So here, if I charge this will not be far enough to trigger that, but still, you will see that he runs in and he deals 5 damage. That's not much. That's because the shield just deals 5 damage, and because this is not properly implemented yet. But yeah, that's how far I've gotten so far with the game. I was really happy with these skills, and I think that this is kind of the most fun part for me, probably, to implement the skills. It feels like it's actually becoming a game now. And now that you're creating the skills and everything, it's kind of coming together, I feel like. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to creating stats for these items and everything to make everything work together. And then we'll see what the next step is going to be. I think the next step after that's going to be a random dungeon generation, which puts enemies in different places and stuff like that. And then we're of course gonna add more enemies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about what I got so far. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Member shout out. Member shout out. So smashing a fly or something. Thank everyone so much for watching. A special thank you of course to all our members on Patreon and on the YouTubes. If you want to, then check out the link in the description to my Patreon, or check out the join button next to the subscribe button. Thanks so much to Adam Alexis, Simon Lauer, Rodney Cox, Herman Monster, The Soft Pillow, Shamanix, Alex Mike, Nathaniel Nilsson, Laser Setestan, Jeff Henry, Michael W, Toplets Investments, W Lutz 1978, Peter Gold, Sean Stevens, Gabriel Juvenal, Way, Messamok1, Ye Old Bassist, Tai Tai, July Moonlight Star, Drakeage 2000, Jurassic Fart, Eric Parson, Rage Not, Badass, I Wanna Be, John Domian, Gesusaki, Own77, Ellie Curtis, Noah VH, MC Hermes, Fumiaki Kinoshita, J-Cap, Steve Drabinsky, Strange Brontis, Sky Surfer Zero, Tim Dutton, Jake Denley, Santa John, The McDuncan, Relgan, Chase Close, John Lacava, III, Honsa Kos, Agon Reborn, Ramen Noodles for Me, Nethervex, Musketeer, Tom Cute, Michael, Name the Epithet, Dear Lurgorf, Dimlit Knight, Stricker Mike, Postal Guru, Anthony Divil, Mentosaurus, Michael Cupido, Yuan To Jing, Vincent Baudette, Paul Robert Miller, Anthony Nixon, Ninja Astral, Optimus, Shockles M, Virus Dingus, Dan McShark, Pocky U, Kitty Bomb Lover, Magic Pistol Man, Seppi1310, Martin Newman, Catherine Loistgelb, That's Mr. God to You, Simon Berley, Verokta, Jake Palmer, Upside Down, Thomas Schwartz, Kyle Hoff, Judy Robinson, Robert Montgomery, Alessandro Musky, Salim Proctor, Robert Lewis, Stephen Reed, John LaRoche, Leif Firth, Jason Ellison, Jao Carlos Pires, Link is Weak, Zach Coiler, QGL889, Matt Frost, Matthias Porley, Some Call Me George, Aaron Noble, Adam Alexis, Adam Ruth, Alexander G. Valencia, Arteria, Barbara McKinley, Betsuma, Big Bob MTG, Branton Dobbs, Butt with Ass, Dan Goodsell, Daniel Williams, DBK Drummer, Dixon Sider, Dr. Jadron, Draco Smith, Drew Styles, Eat It, Eskide, Evantum Tantum, Frank Sherwood, Freeman Stephenson, Grinning Demon, Harshit Singh, Infinite Draw, Jack Wren, James Hazel, Javier Diaz, Jellybean, Jonathan Burgos, Liquid E, Lockgenator, Mami Punani, Mario Morales, Martin Newman, Matthew Goggins, Neo Terror, Nesmoth, Ninja Longnome, Patrick Henning, Patrick Parks, Faron, Piotr Staloritsk, Pote, Rainbow Cake, Ret Khan, Serge Karamarov, 7Guy777, Super Noodle 7, Thanatos, Travis Markley, and Truman. You guys are amazing! If you also want to become a member, of course, check out my Patreon link in the description, or check out the join button next to the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and see you tomorrow! Also, thank you to our band shoulders on Patreon. Thanks so much. And don't forget to subscribe, everyone.